I like grab the pork out with oven mitts, so I'm just like holding this flaming pork.
How do you feel about like other bones?
Be careful here. Be careful here.
I'm going on a plane tomorrow.
Oh, shut up. Who cares? Rhi, what have you been eating?
And this is our last
Is this the last one?
Yep, the last one ever.
You're listening to the Pepper and Me podcast, Around the Dinner Table with Cherie, Cam and Lorne, where we chat all things food and business.
Welcome back to New Zealand's top food podcast. You're here with Cherie, Lorne and Rhi from Inrhispantry.
Hello.
Today. We've got a special guest. Is that a good intro?
Yeah, that was decent.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
I was going to say, I'm special.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I literally don't think there's any other food podcast, so
In New Zealand. Yes, we
by
are
that we're the top.
officially
Number one.
New Zealand's best food podcast.
There you go.
We'll claim it.
Yeah.
Will we get like
We are number one in the food podcast world.
According
Disclaimer.
to Pepper and Me.
We do not know that as a fact, but we will claim it. Don't.
Most things,
Not
most
endorsed
things that I
by-
claim as fact, I don't know for sure. But you just say it. If you say it with enough conviction, people actually believe
Absolutely. If you walk
So
somewhere.
once again from the top, we are the best. We.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
Okay.
I'll award you.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome.
Thanks.
Welcome to Tauranga. How was the
Yeah.
how do you find it compared to Auckland?
It's wet, but it's also wet in
Yeah.
Auckland, so it's fine.
Same.
It actually feels quite Aucklandy
Yeah.
once you come out of the hills.
Nice.
I did have a few like road rage moments, but that's fine.
Rhi, do you want to tell us a bit about what you do? I've known you for a long time.
Yeah, quite a long
So
time now, eh?
just
I
like
was trying to figure out what year it was. I think it was like 2000.
probably 5 years.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oosh.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Times are flying.
So you create recipes and recipe video content for some cool brands and
Yep.
some real big brands. You do New World?
Did
New World, yeah.
it did New World?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so well, I guess like I used to do it for a company, so I had my own company that we did it for.
Yep.
But either side of that, I now have done it. So I built up. So I had a food blog
Yep.
after I trained to be a chef.
In Rhi's Pantry.
Inrhispantry, yeah, sorry, that's bad self-promo at Inrhispantry. Studied to be a chef, couldn't hack it.
Yep.
I worked in a kitchen for like 3 months, and during my time in uni, I had a kitchen accident with my hand. And then so I couldn't really use my hand properly. And
Is
then
this
so,
a caramel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I hold it up?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Have you not seen it?
Oh,
Have you
no,
not
I-
seen my...
Watch her
No,
TikTok.
You haven't seen my rap on the internet?
She does it. What's that song? Hi.
One thing about me, I'm the baddest. But I was like, one thing about me, my skin melted off. Haha.
Right.
Sorry, I'm going to take my ring off because it's banging on the table.
Yeah. Excellent TikTok.
You should do
You know,
that.
I should do
You
that.
should. People, it's good for trauma.
Yeah.
Because it kind of makes you laugh, you know?
I don't have any trauma.
No, I'm kidding. So many people were like, you need to show more of your personality. So I was like, why not just dive straight into it?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so sucked at working in the kitchen, basically. Worked as like an a la carte chef in the mornings at this cafe in the PwC building in town. Sucked.
Right.
Cried, hated it, couldn't cope. And then so that was when like Instagram was coming along, you know, like starting to pick up. Started in Inrhispantry and then just became like self-taught, did some work experience, did some like a lot of unpaid work and then some paid work and stuff, and then kind of
Creating
just taught
content
myself.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just started like there was a company called Bloggers Club, and they basically were like the beginnings of
That's
like
right. I remember that. Pixie.
So they were like OG talent managers.
Yes.
And we had like I would get a $30 Macca's voucher to
my
like
goodness.
post, and that was my first job, and I remember being like, "Fuck yeah, I'm
made
getting,
it.
I'm getting paid. I'm getting sponsored by McDonald's. It's my first
So
job,
good.
guys. Like
Oh my
step aside.
goodness.
I wouldn't mind
Correct.
KFC.
Sure, I got sponsored by McDonald's just to play soccer. You know, when you got like.
Are you
player
taking
of
my
the day.
credibility away from
Yeah,
me?
well, you got
Happy Meal?
you got like McDonald's vouchers for being player of the day.
God,
playing
that's
soccer.
a decent prize nowadays.
I know.
I had McDonald's the other day.
I was in a sport.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, it's like
$25 each or something.
$13 for a Happy Meal.
My breakfast this morning was $16 with a code.
Oh,
I know,
Ooh.
I know.
Have you seen the whole? This just like to completely derail your.
Yeah, this is where it's
going
gonna
to
go.
Have you seen the Macca's app sort of controversy going around where they're charging
Oh,
people different prices,
yes.
and
No.
yeah.
so like you get the same meal,
Loyalty.
the same loyalty thing, but they're charging people different amounts. So you might think you're a special person getting some deal for $16, but
did
Joe
think.
Blogs down the way is getting it for $13. Like they're obviously segmented people who they know are going to spend money
Yeah.
through the app, and they charge them more.
It's me. that I'm the one getting duped.
Okay, hate it and I love it.
I was going to say,
fair
I
enough.
actually just don't see an issue with it. You can charge whatever you want.
Yeah, you can.
And you're like, they literally can. They're McDonald's.
if you know that someone's going to buy something, like you just put the price up. It's supply and demand.
It's like petrol.
Interesting though. It's a really interesting
This is
discussion, isn't it? Like if you walked into a shop, you wouldn't categorize people and be like, "Oh, you look like you get money. I'm going to charge you more." You can't do that.
But that's what they've done with the Macca's app and like the whole. Actually, I heard that Macca's Monopoly promo's coming back in like a couple of days.
Did you know if you win, you have to prove that or every time you got the points, so you have to have receipts for every time.
Receipts?
I
No one's
heard a
gonna keep
woman
a
won,
receipt.
and they were like, "We need all the receipts you had, so heads up if you enter next time."
What is Macca's
Wild.
McDonald's?
You
Have you
tear
never
off
done
the little
Macca's
codes?
Monopoly?
No.
You scan it and it goes ding ding ding.
Oh,
and
no, I
you get
haven't
like
done
a
that.
little. Sorry,
That's great.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm on the page here.
And
You're the odd one out.
At
Yeah, so- thank you.
At $13 a Happy Meal, I'm certainly not going to start. People come at me
For making a lamb.
roasting a leg of
Yeah,
lamb.
well, maybe you shouldn't burn it.
Yeah, but they could
Someone said that to me about my
telling
hand.
me
Trauma. No kidding.
I had a dinner party the other night and I actually like read the comments out of the TikTok. We were just in
We should do that. We need to sit you down and we need
I
to
know.
do
Oh, maybe
bad
we'll do it at the
comments.
end.
Do you know what I love about
So
that
good.
though? Is on TikTok, I feel like I can be ruthless with how I reply to people.
Oh, yeah.
I just like racking people up because I don't give a shit. Like one person was like,
Piss off.
"That's not caramelized onion, that's Branston pickle."
Oh, my
I
goodness.
just commented back going, "Who's Branston?" and then they're like, "Branston pickle," and I was like, "Pickle what?" And they were just getting pissed off, and I was sitting
Oh.
behind my phone like,
I know.
"Yes."
It brings out the keyboard warriors, and
some.
we haven't quite got into like the ruthlessly replying to these comments yet, but I think it's going to come soon because we can't keep it together.
Oh, I
You
just
just
ignore
gotta
them. I just
laugh.
don't read it. Like,
Look at it as engagement.
but oh god, yeah, it's so
Anyway,
much.
anyway,
we let Ree
back
finish
to
it?
McDonald's. So your
No.
first paid gig.
No,
Oh,
that's Ree,
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, I don't know where we were.
Yeah.
First paid gigs, so I was getting paid gigs through there. At the same time, I was working in like cake shops and stuff because that was kind of like my weekend job coming out of high school. Blah blah blah. Tried being a chef, sucked. See ya, out the door, not interested. And then so I was taking photos of my food, started my blog, had a whole journey with all of that stuff. And then everything's like self-taught, so the photography and the videography and stuff. And then so I worked for a content company, and then after that started my own company, Craving. And then last year, so we're in August now, so last May I sold out of that, and now I'm doing it for myself.
Yourself.
Yeah. So creating videos, recipes, content, kind of like strategy stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, your videos are so great. It's
Thank
very
you.
cool.
I kind of branded it on LinkedIn as a food and digital specialist.
Oh, good.
nice.
I like that.
And when people ask, I just say, I just take photos of food and
Yeah,
other
good though.
stuff.
it's very
yeah,
good.
that's the swanky term.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so lots of it, I have my own, I guess. I have Inrhispantry, which is my own platform.
Yep.
And then I do it for other brands to commission.
Do
theirs.
do you still run under Inrhispantry? Is that your business name now?
Yeah, it's all like under one
Yeah, that's probably
channel.
easier.
Do you know what I mean? Like rather than having two companies, but I have got a separate website, which is by Rhiannon.co.nz for
Plug.
like photography. You
Hashtag
know,
ads.
yeah, exactly.
Ah,
Hashtag
okay.
ad. For like if people want to contact me and use me as Rhiannon rather than Inrhispantry.
Right.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
How are you finding that? Do we ask about what's off limits? Do we ask about selling out of the company?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I know that.
Might be some
Okay.
details I don't want to answer.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. How are you finding it by yourself though? Good.
It's good.
Okay.
So the only thing is, I am realizing that I am definitely a people person.
Right.
And so I do struggle working at home. Like, so going from having a team of like six of us to then going back to working alone,
Yep.
that's been a hard adjustment.
Yep.
But then I'm just spending my money at the local cafe literally every day to get out of the house. But it actually helps my productivity. So I'd rather go smash some work out for the days I haven't got shoots on.
Yep.
Because otherwise I'm just like, oh, I could do some washing. I could play
distracted.
Sims.
Yeah,
I could.
Absolutely.
I could never work properly at home.
It's not working.
It's just so many distractions, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially when you've got kids too, but it's like even like my phone and you know, like I think attention spans are so much shorter. And now that I know that I have ADHD, I'm realizing, recently diagnosed, that my attention span obviously just doesn't respond to like no stimulate, you know, like it's, I'll do the
Yeah.
fun part. I love doing the shoot. I love editing and stuff.
Yeah.
Invoicing, planning, all of that stuff. Those are my weaknesses. Yeah.
Interesting. I reckon everyone who puts themselves on the internet has some form of ADHD, and then it just
Actually,
gets worse. It gets worse because you're online, like scrolling, flicking. So you like,
And
make
it's
it
your
worse,
job.
worse, worse. And then and then you're getting all this attention from people, so that feeds it as well.
Mm.
And then
I was talking to Michelle about it from Mint Cakery, and she was like, "We're all flocked together.
yeah,
Like, you have to be a little bit off kilter, right? And like, I
Yeah,
think that's
you
probably why we
do.
all vibe.
yeah.
It's because it's extra little. What's it called? Like neurodivergent
Divergent.
spice.
Spicy, yeah, a little
We're
bit of
spicy.
Spicy minds.
We're spicy.
I feel
Put in
like
the
I've-
PG-13
I've
version.
like
Not accountant virgin.
Yeah.
I'm like at the end of my journey with that. I'm like, I just don't want to be there anymore.
You don't get to
You wanna
choose
be
if you're on the
online.
spectrum.
No,
Oh,
no,
I thought you
I
didn't want to
wanna-
choose if you were on the spectrum.
No.
And I was like, you don't get to choose. I was like, that's just decided for you.
You've
No,
done your 7 years of
I've done my
Snapchat and
7
Instagram
years
and
of
TikTok.
like, and I've like, I just want to, I don't want to live off grid because I don't really like farm like
Yeah,
that's
I don't
not
want to
for
go in the
me.
bush and stuff.
No,
Gross.
but I'd like to just,
Off-grid and Grey Lynn.
not Grey Lynn, no.
Next to Honeybones.
I'm a pet mom. I'm the mayor of Papamoa now.
Are you?
Someone
Nice.
someone
Have you got a
called me that.
cloak?
Someone called me that the other day.
Don't give her ideas. Do not encourage
And like, don't
this.
they have like a
Do
big
not
coin
enable
necklace and
this.
stuff?
No, soon she'll be out on the blooming corners with a bell. Here,
I'll get you a key. I'll get you a
I'm gonna
key.
get a scepter.
Pep key. That sounds
Yeah.
weird though.
The mayor, it was Tash. Tash was like, "Oh, I heard you're the mayor of Papamoa." I was like, "Oh, you
Yeah,
know
I
what?
am.
I am, and I don't leave now. I never go to the mountain anymore." Everyone's like, "Oh, do you want to go out for dinner?" I'm like, probably not."
Isn't it like 10 minutes away from you too?
From to the mount to Pap?
Yeah.
Nah, it's actually
15, 20.
25.
Oh,
It's-
that's a trick.
Yeah. No, I'm so happy in Papamoa, in my little cave over
Trees
there.
Papamoa East.
East.
Or was there something about east?
No,
it's
it's
just
just further
far.
away.
Oh, okay, you're like
Really far, yeah.
east. Yeah,
It's just
okay,
like
fair
the
enough.
road to get there just doesn't stop.
Literally doesn't.
But I love it down there.
Where I'm
Yeah.
about to immerse myself in the lifestyle.
Yeah,
for
so
a week.
Ree's come to house at my house for 5 days, and my cats.
I was about
Yeah.
to say, house at the cats. The house doesn't matter.
Jaeger bombs for me and the
Really just the
cats.
Yeah. Yep. It's
Poor Leo.
he's a big sook
what are
too,
their
my
names? I should
cat.
really
Leo.
know.
He's a big fat slug, like me.
We love it.
Oh, and he's very sulky. He sees my suitcase packed. He's laying on the floor with his face out.
Wait, who was this Auckland
He
ball
is
in my
It'll
house?
only take 20
sulking.
minutes and he'll be all over it though. Like,
No, he's very emotional.
and then
What,
Pippa's.
do I want to change
Pippa
my
will be
mind?
fine. No, the other
Is the
cat
cat going to attack me in the
No.
middle of the
No,
night?
no, no.
won't attack you. It
He'll
just,
just lay
might
on your
disappear.
face.
Just lay on my face.
And the
Good
little,
night forever.
the other
Call
one,
you at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Pippa will follow you
Scratch
around.
at the door. Which
Yeah,
one
she
scratches at the door?
scratches at the door, even an open door.
Yeah.
Like she just does it to get you.
Just for attention.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I'll just start doing it back. Be like, what do you want, cat?
yeah.
I can scratch.
It's a battle of wills though, because at 3 a.m. I'm like, I'm not getting up to open that door, but yeah, half an hour later I just get up and open the door.
I just like the saying, treat them mean, keep them keen.
Yeah,
and I
but you
apply
can't-
that to cats.
You can't
Yeah.
do that when the cat has been trained for like 7 years to like
Just you
get
wait.
what they want.
Me and my flatmate's cat, she loves me because I don't show it back to her. So I'll try it. You
see,
just you
we'll
wait.
see,
We're
we'll
going to
see.
Ree's military camp this week.
Okay.
That's what, do you know, because when I was in Melbourne, I had Heart Eyes come and look after my house, and he immediately took away the biscuit feeder. like,
he controlled the food.
These cats are going
he's
on a diet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's putting them on a diet?
On a diet,
Aw.
yeah. He said they're addicts to treats.
But you know what
like, you
though?
just
There's
give them
worse,
treats.
there's worse addicts to
There's
be.
totally psychology behind that, because with a dog, like, you're not supposed to, like, you eat before the dog eats, and like you feed them their food, all of that sort of stuff, so they know that
So they know
get
that they're a
their-
dog.
they
woof at them.
there's like, it's like a respect thing. Like they at the moment, the cats don't need you to get food.
Right, no.
It just sits there on the floor.
No, they just
So I need to show them
choose
who's boss.
to be with
Yeah.
me.
Okay. I can do this.
Anyway,
Okay.
let's not talk
Enough
about
cat chat.
food. Yeah, #1 food podcast talking about
Sponsored
whiskers.
by Purina.
Cat food. Yeah,
Uh.
so anyway, what shall we talk about what
What's
we've
been on your plate?
eaten this week?
What's been on my plate?
Best thing. Lorne.
Yeah,
We both ended up doing a Sunday roast, didn't we?
did. I would have bet you.
You would have beat
I
me.
would have.
Was it a roast off?
Well, we didn't
unintentionally.
Does that
realise.
sound-
roast off, yeah. It wasn't I've decided I'd like to start doing a roast every Sunday. I'm like, I want to do a roast
We
at
did
my
that
house
as a
every
family.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Because we never did it, but I'd like to start doing it. And I was like, well, Lorne, maybe you could come to my house for a roast on Sundays.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I had this idea. I kept talking about it, but then I didn't invite Lorne to my roast.
To the family
Well,
roast.
I didn't really. Oh, it's been a whole bloody drama because I was picking and choosing who I wanted at my roast.
Haven't you only got one
Not with
sibling?
you.
I know. She ripped me off right at the
Yeah, I was
start.
gonna say,
there was no
"Ugh."
picking and choosing there.
No.
And I invited her.
Oh.
So
So you're going to do your own Sunday roast?
I know.
So I get an invite on Sunday and I'll decide you're going to be away anyway.
He
So
invited me after he'd already had it on. He's like, "Oh, you can join too if you want." Like, it wasn't like you.
that's a sympathy invite. That's a sympathy invite.
So I did the roast for my friends, and then I saw Lorne was doing exact same dish. Had a rolled pork belly in his barbecue.
Oh, so you didn't do the lamb.
no.
Nah. I
We can't say that anymore though.
I've got that porchetta in the oven. Absolutely nailed it. Is spectacular. And Lorne's got it nailed in his barbecue.
Yeah,
But
barbecue's better. Rotisserie barbecue. It has to be better.
yeah, well, if you don't blow it up and light it on fire, and
Yeah,
end up with
literally.
a-
So
Surprised you still have eyebrows.
same.
I caught the barbecue on fire and wrecked half of the pork. Well, just the crackling. The pork inside was still delicious.
Yeah.
But
You could do a trauma story about this. You could do the Nicki Minaj song.
I wasn't that traumatized. I was like, cool, it's real funny because I got the whole thing on security camera as well.
Did
out the back of
you?
my house. And like, I'm walking back to the barbecue with a beer in my hand and I see the fire coming out the side of the barbecue and I just like, damn it. Slowly put the beer down, turn around, walk off to go grab like oven mitts and tongs and stuff to try save this pork, turn around, walk back and the fire's like tripled in size.
You're in
and
like
then
0.5
I turn around-
speed.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, calm and collected. Haley's inside like screaming at me because there was a gas bottle sitting under the barbecue and like everyone was kind of freaking out but not knowing what to do. And I just cared about the pork. So I opened the lid and the fire literally was hitting the roof. So the fire would have been like 2 meters high or something, or like 1.5 meters high.
You need to put that
hitting the
footage
roof.
on TikTok.
I know, it's
I
so
do.
good. He's got the whole video for
And
need
like
to
all I
upload
care
it.
about is the pork. The kids are sitting there throwing the ball for the dog like 1.5 meters away from the barbecue, absolutely clueless about what's
Perfectly
going
warm.
on. Yeah, I like grab the pork out with oven mitts, so I'm just like holding this flaming pork, trying to blow it out while the flames are hitting the roof of everything else. One of the guys that we had around was trying to hit the fire with a tea towel to put it out, and I'm like, that's not going to work. But yeah, I think you probably want the pork. Luckily though, I did chicken wings on the Weber kettle at the same time, so we had chicken wings.
What
which
did you
were
put on them?
delicious. So I did
Frye.
and blow my coals.
Nice.
And I mean Frye's got kind of blow my coals in it anyway, but I just added more in there and man grind and they were really, really yum. And the Frye kind of made them a little bit bready, almost deep fried-ish kind of on the outside because of the Frye texture.
And I guess there's enough fat in that, on the skin that would kind of absorb into the crumb.
And really hot on the Weber, so it was like 250 degrees or something. So it was really, really hot to get it crispy. Nice smoke flavour, really, really yum. So nailed the wings, and I don't even like bone-in chicken.
You know what I was about to say? Do you
do
know
not like bone-in
what I
chicken.
don't get is people who don't like bones with their meat.
I like the bone and the mini drums, but the wing part I don't like.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like other bones? I was
Yeah.
thinking,
Be careful here. Be
I
careful
was thinking
here.
more like lamb racks or like because some people
Yeah,
just
no, I
won't.
love
They'll like
them.
cut their meat off the bone because they don't want to touch the bone.
Oh no, I love the bone on meat, but that wing part is like
Yep.
I don't
kind of
know, I just don't
spindly
really get
and-
it. I don't really
yeah.
get it.
No, fair.
Yeah, I love a nibble. It's like
Little chicken nibble.
Nibble.
Nibble
That
on
can
the
be your
bone.
slogan. Loves a nibble
I'll nibble on a bone. I don't want to bloody
till the house goes down.
little toothpick wing stuck in my teeth. Give me a big old
be a
bone
big-
any day. Like
If we're saying the chicken wing bone is big, then we might have to have some conversation.
no, the chicken wing bone is small, but I love the big bone on a ribeye.
Oh, we've just gone from this big to
Yeah, put a
frickin-
ribeye on the plate. That's from bit of me.
Have you seen how they plate it? They do it at Bossy, and they did it. Have you watched The Bear on Disney?
Oh no.
Very good. But they have like the big ribeye. They slice it up, and they just have the bone
Sitting on
My
top
arm's
of
the
it, or
bone.
like
right? Bone on the plate.
bone erect,
up.
erect
Oh.
Yeah,
on the
straight
plate.
out, and then they have the sliced meat all around it.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that quite
Yeah.
strange?
Never
But what are
seen
you meant to
one.
do with the bone?
Lay it on a
It's-
plate nicely.
No, but like it's just sticking up there. Is it just for presentation, or who's?
must
Is
be
it just like
Yeah,
a
it's
fight
just
to
to
who
show
gets to
off.
nibble off the bone?
I reckon it's so
dramatic
everyone else at the restaurant looking around can see the bone sticking out and go, oh, that person spent a shitload of
That's
money.
BBE. Does that stand for anything wrong?
Yeah,
Big bone energy.
Sometimes you just need to see these things, eh? It's
yeah.
like I always say about people sitting in like premium economy or like first class. Like,
I can't relate.
it actually doesn't make sense for them to get on the plane first.
No, not
It
at
makes
all.
sense for them to get on last because they're actually at the front of the plane.
And they don't have the povos
And they
walking
can
past,
wait and
like me,
Exactly. They can wait in kuru till they
sipping on their
and come on
champers.
last minute because they don't want to sit there for half an hour. But the thing is, they do want to sit there for half an hour because they need every povo to walk
to
past
see them.
to be seen in first class
Absolutely.
or premium economy. That's the only reason
Dabbing
they
with
put them
their
on the plane
towelette
first. They're like,
and-
oh, I'm actually much better than everyone else
Sorry.
on this plane.
Yeah, look at my
sorry.
cheese board
I've
that's
actually
coming
played-
over there.
I've
You're
played
only walking on, and I'm already watching my movie.
I'm in the end scene.
got my bottle of Dom. Like they
Absolutely.
don't even want to be on the plane. There, no one likes sitting on a plane for half an hour before they go.
No.
You know, it's literally so people can see it, which is the same thing about the bone.
Interesting.
And I'm not
Okay,
saying
so there
it's
we
wrong.
go.
I'm not saying it's
I was
wrong.
like, where is this going?
I'd
but it
love to
makes
be in
sense.
first class with everyone walking past me, but I'm
I
not.
can imagine other things I could spend 20 grand on.
True. True.
But hey,
Anyway.
sugar daddy, we're looking for you so we can fly first class.
Yeah. I'm going on a plane tomorrow.
Oh, shut up. Who cares? Ree, what have you been
of
eating?
planes.
What's been on your plate?
Speaking of
We
planes,
can give you your plane moment. It's okay.
but I will not be going. I'm
First class.
First class or anything other than kettle class because it's just such an exorbitant amount of money.
And the reality is, I feel like you're going to feel like shit at the end anyway.
Nah, you'd probably feel so great.
Yeah, no,
You'd
I'm
probably feel
lying,
like you've
'cause-
been at a 10-star health retreat.
When I went to Europe when I was 21, we stayed with some family and their friends came over and they were rich. Like we were staying in the most beautiful house off of Oxford Street in London. And they were like, oh, we flew first class, had a high tea. I slept 9 hours. I just felt, and I did my rose hip skincare and all this. And I'm sitting there, eye twitching, legs so swollen because my compression socks didn't work.
Sleep
I'm
for,
like,
sleep for all of 5 seconds.
Yeah,
on a
literally, I'm like,
tower.
one day.
One
I'll
day.
know what that feels like. I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
The bank account's not reflecting it just yet.
Oh, anyway. All right. Plate. Oh, well, so that's been on my plate too, the big pork. But I did I've been getting into the collie and broccoli bake, but roasting. So roasting broccoli and cauliflower.
It
and
makes
then just making a
the
cheese sauce and pouring it on
cauliflower
top.
taste so good.
So
It
much
makes it-
better.
It's
So good.
so much better. And I don't stir the sauce through. I actually just pour it on
Pour it on
top,
top.
and then some like Gruyere and breadcrumbs on top,
Ooh.
and then in the oven. And I've
Not gonna lie though, I don't love roasted broccoli as much as I love roasted cauliflower.
Yes.
Also,
right.
how do we feel about broccoli, right? Set the scene. In a tomato sauce for like a pasta.
No.
The ick, right? I can't stand the idea of the tomato getting in the little
Oh.
head.
I quite like a creamy lemon broccoli.
Yeah, a creamy sauce I'm here for.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It suits nicely with the broccoli,
All I can
lemon,
think
chili.
is, like, kind of you get that Brussels sprouty kind of taste when broccoli's overcooked. You know what I mean?
Like your grandma's cooked it.
And that's all I could think it would taint the tomato sauce.
It actually does, because I made a pasta here the other day, the worst pasta I've ever made in my life. I just didn't know what direction I was going with it. I wanted to do creamy lemon.
Yeah.
I had chorizo, so it was chorizo, and I was like broccoli,
that's
but then I put
right.
a few tins of cherry tomatoes in there as
Oh,
well.
she fucked it.
Oh, absolutely. And then I put 2 whole heads of broccoli in there, and it literally it was creamy
weird.
and tomatoey and chorizo, and then the whole thing tasted like broccoli. And then
People sit, we like your staff sitting there
Oh,
just smiling
and I had to
crying at the
use
same time.
macaroni. And can I just
Oh,
say,
yeah.
macaroni is the worst shape of pasta ever to be invented. on
Followed
the
by
planet.
penne.
Followed closely by
I
penne.
can't stand
Do
dried
you know what?
penne.
I didn't have anything to cancel. Now I do. The
Penne.
macaroni elbow can actually get out. It is a terrible shaped pasta. It's good for nothing except macaroni.
What's your
cheese.
favourite then? This is the aggro eight.
Spirals?
Oh,
No.
no.
If it's okay, different.
Should we say it on
pasta.
3?
Different, no, because different pastas have different uses. So my favourite is a spiral for a pasta salad
Yeah.
because that gives the best,
But
like,
that's the only thing that's on form with macaronis. Like, what else are you going to use macaroni or penne for? There's a pasta salad.
Shells?
So, the best for a pasta salad.
Now, penne in a pasta salad, you don't really get it all in one
No,
mouth.
but that's why we're saying we don't like it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Spirals.
Spirals.
Spirals are best for a pasta salad. Macaroni can go on macaroni cheese, but I don't like macaroni cheese, so
What?
don't like it.
Really?
Never liked it. Yeah.
Why? The
Dunno.
texture?
Yeah, just not for me.
Stodge.
I got real sick off like that beef cheek barbecue. One day I'd done
Oh,
a
where
mac
you
and
have all the
cheese and I was
sides and
horrifically
stuff?
ill and I've not been able to touch it since.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been that made you horrifically ill. It was
No,
probably
but
drinking
it's
the day
just-
before or something.
No, it was. I got food poisoning.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
a staff party.
poisoning.
Yeah, so it was a staff party.
No, the day of the staff party, I couldn't even go. I got sent
Oh
home from
my
my own staff party.
Goodness.
Wasn't happy. My favourite pasta shape for a normal pasta would be pappardelle or rigatoni.
Oh, mine's a bit juvenile if I come in with mine now.
What?
Bow ties. I love a bow tie so much. And do you know why? Because it gets a little bit undercooked in the middle. And I love that
does.
I
so
feel
much.
like we've cancelled bow ties before
No.
because of that.
No, we don't
Have I
mind bow
forgotten
tie.
and now I've exposed myself?
No, but that belongs in a pasta salad.
Right, sorry, I'll call it farfalle, and then it sounds like more bougie.
Or like a hot pasta.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, fuck,
to
get out
me,
of my
that
office.
immediately goes in a pasta salad.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I'll try it. I don't hate it. Macaroni though, out the gate.
Macaroni
Anyway.
in a pot, get out.
Yeah. Worst. That was.
Cut that. What?
I was like, I'll finish the lyrics there.
That was the worst pasta I've ever made in my life. Then I burnt the whole thing to
you
the bottom
did,
when I
that's
reheated
right.
it. So it had like the whole thing tasted like burnt. So anyway, in the bin, and that was a sure sign that I need to go on holiday. And I'm actually done.
And you're going to go try
Is that why
good
you're all-
pasta as a refresher.
Is that why
For
you're
what
all
it should
tilted
taste like.
today as well?
Oh, I'm just in a mood today. Oh, honestly,
Oh.
I'm just in an absolute mood with everything. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I'm just really stressed because I'm leaving the kids for 3 weeks, and it's not really. I'm not entirely comfortable about it, and so I'm just like trying to organise everything. I've cooked every single meal. I've done meal plans, lunchbox plans, everything, but it's like a long time to be away. And then I'm also worried. This is going to sound really ungrateful, but obviously this is work, like given this trip, which is incredible and like literally my dream job, but I've not been able to choose anything that I'm doing. So I'm just nervous.
Oh, it's an organised thing.
Yeah, so
I
I'm
see.
nervous about what I'm doing. I'm nervous about being on the bus for that long. I'm like, there's things that I want to do in Europe. This is my first time going to Italy, and all I want to do is swim in the ocean, and there's nowhere I can swim in the ocean on the trip.
Really?
Yeah, and just like, I think that's real dumb. I know. I will enjoy it, but
You will.
there's less like a lot of things to be stressed about.
Best friend would be electrolytes and a neck pillow.
Yeah.
I was so ghetto in Kentucky, and I was 21, so it's fine. I'm excusing it, but I forgot to take a neck pillow, so I would get my pajama pants, put
Roll
them in
them
my
up,
and
yeah.
use them as a pillow. But it was fine because everyone else was like completely off their chops in the back of the bus, so no one was worried about my PJ pants.
No, and everybody else was probably doing exactly the same. You just didn't notice
We'll
because you're
bind
yourself.
together, exactly.
Yeah, and my friends are placing a sweepstakes on which day me and my boyfriend will break up on.
What have you?
get in
Do
on
you
this?
I was going
Unreasonable.
to say, do you have a guess? But you probably shouldn't have a guess.
It'll be the blimmin'. It'll be how are you getting to Auckland?
Well, I don't even know if we're going to make it on the car ride
I was
too.
about to say, you driving? Because like you won't even make it on the plane.
He texted me this morning. He's like, we may want to invest $80 to pay for separate seats, so we
Just for a
don't
bit of
have to sit by
space.
each other. Yeah. And then we like laugh, and I'm like, oh,
Why don't you just switch seats with someone on the bus? You say, I don't know who this stranger is.
I know. Yeah, it's going to be make or
You're
break.
acting like they know me. It's really weird.
Every-
Like
You need to vlog the whole thing.
I should, eh? I'm
You
like,
really should.
day one on my Italy trip.
I'll make
you
a
do-
close
you have
friends
to.
and I'll just block them from it, and I'll be
Oh
like,
my goodness.
day
You
one.
should do a TikTok series. It's like, is this the day I break up with my boyfriend? Day one.
You need to do the whole thing that they do on all the live streaming platforms at the moment, where the live chat dictates what you do. So you go live.
AI or something.
Yeah, you go live and you'd be like, all right, what are we doing today? And everyone in the chat will vote on what you're doing and how you treat him.
Oh
So
god.
today you have to treat him really nicely, and you're sitting there pissed off as anything, but everyone's told you to treat him nicely.
But on the days where you feel like being nice, they want to fuck
Yeah,
with you a little bit.
they're just like, nah, slap him.
we
Push
don't need any help.
No, it's going to be calm. It's going to be beautiful. You'll
I
come
did
back
say, I'm like,
tanned.
God, if we're going to the best place in the world to eat the best food in the world, if we manage to argue while we're over there, it's not good.
This will be a good test of your relationship, that's for sure.
I know.
Good or bad.
It will be very interesting. We're just very I'm not a fiery person usually, but for some reason we just like grate each other, eh?
It just comes
But
out.
it's just different because it does it in a good way too because it's challenging and I've like never really been challenged like that before.
Okay.
And I do think I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot.
I'm becoming skeptical of your trip, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll all keep it. We'll all have our eyes peeled.
Yeah, we might be
Cherie
that
on
couple
tour.
on the bus. Who knows?
We'll come back with some stories.
Might be
We'll be the one they will talk about in 20 years.
I can't wait for episode 1 of season 2 of this podcast. Cherie tells all. Heart
Cherie
eyes
didn't
is
come
heartbreak
home.
Or
eyes.
it could go either way. You'll either be all like loved up and like all couple photos everywhere, and it's like,
Boyfriends of Instagram vibes.
oh yeah, people go pretty hundies, eh? Like some people go hundies on the couples photos.
You're just gonna have a couple. Because what if it does end,
It's really
you
not
don't want
my
them
vibe.
to be in all your photos. You know,
Yeah, you have to go back
You don't
and
want them in the
delete them
photo
all.
book in 2043
True.
if you're not together anymore. And the kids are like, "Mum, who's
True.
that?"
Yeah, true.
Just make sure you have some posts, or we'll just Photoshop
that just sounds
a
like
piece of
commitment
pasta.
issues.
Who, me?
Yeah, just
No,
not
it's
committing.
future planning.
Oh.
It's future planning.
Future planning, commitment issues.
And then if you do stay together that long, you have got some photos.
True.
Otherwise, it's hot girl summer.
yeah, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
remarketing.
Remark.
All right.
Anyway, it's all positive. It's
all positive.
It's all positive. You can't really go too wrong either way.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's what's been on our plate. What's been on your plate, Reece?
What's been on my plate?
you been
I
cooking?
wrote down a couple. What have I been cooking or eating?
Both.
That's could
Anything.
lead to the same thing. Okay, well, the few things I've had out recently that I've been introduced to. So I've had a couple. Korean hot dogs are my new favourite thing.
Oh, I've been wanting to try.
God, I
I've
love
never
them.
tried
So I got one the other day.
It's cheese chunks and sausage chunks on a stick.
And then they batter it like a corn dog, like a battered hot dog. And then
Yeah.
they coat it in things like
crispy stuff.
potatoes, kumara, ramen.
Yeah, like
And like
flakes.
deep fry it again or
Deep
something.
fry it,
Fried
toss
again.
it in sugar, put on honey mustard,
You can
mayo,
put whatever sauces you want. They get like mayo and
sweet and spicy,
sweet sauce, spicy sauce.
QP.
Yeah.
Let me just say they're huge. It's
Yeah,
not the
that
cutest
sounds-
thing to eat.
Yeah,
in
but we
public.
don't have them here in Tauranga. That
Don't you?
no,
No, we've got nothing here.
no, we've
Wow.
But that sounds
I
fun.
feel like, yeah, they're so good. And the other day, so I got this ramen one, and it said it was made with mee goreng.
Yep.
So it had this half sausage, half cheese, coated mee goreng. They put the seasoning. The woman looks at me. Okay, I'm trying not to be insulted. She goes, "This is quite spicy." And I said, "How spicy?" She goes, "Quite spicy. Maybe do you want just half the seasoning?" And I said, "Yes." And then she didn't put any on.
Oh.
I was like, I'm not that vanilla. But it had like the mayo, crispy
So yum.
onions. They were just
Yeah.
so delicious. And when I first tried it, we had the one that had kumara and then it was tossed in sugar and then had the sauces.
yum.
And it sounds so strange having Kransky sugar, potato or whatever.
Yep.
God, they're good. Like they're so delicious. So if you can get your hands on a Korean hot dog.
It was on my to eat list in Melbourne. They are bringing them all over New Zealand. They're bringing this chain over. It's called
Oh,
Nunu chicken or Nu something that's very similar to that.
Isn't Nunu a word for
have
like
it's
Yes.
Korean
yeah.
chicken,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
yeah, I've
they
seen it.
do the
Was it in
hot
the
dogs.
news the other
Yes,
day?
it was. And I remember seeing the chain store in Melbourne, and I was like, "Oh, that's really interesting."
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll be everywhere soon.
They're really banging. I've only ever had them at.
Okay,
Oh, we
fried
went to a
chicken.
shop, but then this one that I had the other day was at a night market. Night markets are chaos. I almost want to say that night markets should be cancelled because they're just so stressful.
I don't.
stressful.
I like the whole sort of like food caravan kind of like alleyway thing, but night markets are a different vibe for me.
Do you guys know where Henderson is?
Yes.
Let me paint the scene. We're in Henderson,
Yeah.
in the car park.
Yeah.
It's chock-a-block.
Yep.
Smoke wading through. People with their sausages, their kids, everything. And you just have to wade through, like you're swimming through the crowds.
And
I had to
there's nowhere
wait
to
15 minutes for my
sit, eh?
sausage. Someone nearly knocks it out of my hand.
Yeah.
It's
And there's nowhere to sit.
There's nowhere to sit.
So we did find that at the Queen Vic night markets.
Yeah.
And we got the food and we're like, there's nowhere
What
to
do we do?
sit.
And you're standing there
And by
awkward.
the time you get two foods, they're both cold. Like, or do you sit down and have one food? Like,
and you try and meet up and go like, you go sort yours, I'll sort mine. Then it's like finding each other in the crowd, and it's not
Yeah.
like glamorous or movie like at all.
Yeah,
It's actually quite stressful.
hustle and bustle.
So
Gourmet
yeah,
in the Gardens in Hamilton. Hopefully they still do it, or we'll bring it back in summer or something. But that's epic because it's like a big, like circle of grass with food trucks the whole way around the outside, and you just sit in the sun in the middle on the grass.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
like
not,
dinner
I'm
in the
just not
domain.
like a sit on the
right.
grass person.
That's all right if there's if you take a big
take a
Blankets and
blanket.
stuff.
Yeah, take a
Better
picnic
than-
blanket.
Bit of an Auckland
Car
princess,
park.
okay,
All the old people
You
take their
just
little
stick to restaurants,
Yeah,
Ree.
I will. 3-star and above. No, okay. But yes,
premium economy.
Yeah.
I have like first class taste on low economy budget. You know, that's my problem.
So it's called champagne taste on a
Cody's budget.
champagne taste.
I'm from
on
West
Cruises.
Auckland. Yeah, literally.
It's just something I don't know what the word is.
It's not. I've heard it too.
Yeah.
Whatever's like low of the low.
Yeah. Can't remember.
Me
Good
Goreng,
saying, though.
maybe.
Good saying.
And then there's 2 cafes that I've been hitting up a lot. So I've got one local called Neil, and it's just so cute and wholesome, and they don't do very much. And they started kind of as a coffee bar doing toasts. And then, so it's owned by this lady, Ella, and her husband, Oliver. And he used to be on Shortland Street, Oliver Driver.
Oh yeah.
Really tall, and like you can hear his voice from a mile away, and you're like, oh my God, I watched you on the telly when I was like 10.
Who was he? Who did he play?
I don't know.
Oh.
He's one of the producers now, or is the producer,
Ah,
something like that. Because
okay.
every now and then his car's parked outside and it's got the Shortland Street stickers on
Oh
it.
wow.
But it's really wholesome. The barista like knows your order by name. Neil, yeah.
Where is
it's
it?
Te Atatu Peninsula.
Yeah, okay.
And so that I'm going there literally twice a week now because that's my spot to go and like work. But they've had Broke Boy Taco pop up there. Hey
Excellent.
Hey Chicken, which have you guys ever heard of Pasa Pasa? The place from
No.
Auckland.
No.
So they do really yummy, like Italian, modern Italian food truck food sort of
Yeah.
thing. And so they've started Hey Hey, like the chicken off Moana. And they do all these like massive fried chicken sandwiches and stuff. And then the other one is Duo, which is in Birkenhead, and they actually just won top cafe
yeah?
in the Metro Awards. And it's kind of like, I wouldn't say fine dining, but cafe food if it could be. You know, it's more tailored. They do like this really delicious lemony, herby, smashed avocado on toast. And lots of their brunches are on a single piece of toast.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they do like tuna tartare, like fresh on the toast and stuff like that. And they open for dinner. And they're about to open a pasta place next door called Uno. So it's really cool. It's like cool family vibes, but a bit chic. The only thing is it's quite small. So you have to,
Toasts are a real vibe at the moment, eh?
do you know what I don't like though? Is the people who try to make the kumara slices
Oh,
and the toast it into a toast. That's not toast.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I've seen people. So they cut a
You just
kumara
slice it, put it in the
lengthways,
toaster.
or
you
they
toast
turn
it
their
like
toaster
fries.
sideways,
Yeah.
and then they put their peanut butter and stuff on that.
on kumara toast.
Yeah,
It's not a bad gluten-free option, but if I was gluten-free, I'd just have it on a hash brown.
a rosti.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
A latke.
A latka. Oh yeah, I saw those. I love a good latka.
Yeah, it's a very good dish, actually. I love... Well, I saw the same thing you saw with
Yes.
the smoked salmon and...
From Messy Jessie.
Yeah,
if
she's
you're looking
great.
for a latka recipe.
She's excellent. I'm really enjoying her content, actually.
So yeah, that's a good spot. And then there's one place I'm excited that's opening. A friend is opening a pasta deli. So you don't go in and eat there, but you can go in and buy your fresh pastas, your pasta sauce, your sourdough and stuff. So that's going to be Strachey. So that opens in Westmere in a couple of weeks. So that's going to be really
Oh,
cool.
that's exciting.
But like explain like, well, no, what's the word? Spoiler, you just can't eat there.
Okay.
You know, you imagine you
It's a
swan
deli.
in with your like,
Yeah.
Can you buy bow ties? Bow tie
for
pasta?
a second there, I was like, I don't have a suit to wear a bow tie with, but like,
Like real
I'm gonna ask.
fancy bow
You know what?
ties.
No, she did make bow ties because I did content with her. And she made bow
Oh.
ties. So
There you go.
Auckland thinks bow ties are cool. So, so yeah, there's a cool. I feel like Auckland's always got new places opening, but I do find myself gravitating towards the ones I know are good.
Yeah.
Like Honeybones, let's say, is like absolutely one of my top favorite cafes in
Yeah,
Auckland.
agree. You really can't go wrong there, eh?
Apparently, they changed owners.
They did, but no one
knew.
It's the food's still sensational.
Exactly.
That was a few years ago, I think.
Yes,
Yeah, still top
That's
of
a
the
win.
it's
list.
delicious.
What's your favourite dinner restaurant in Auckland?
What's my favorite dinner restaurant? I really like. So I've been to Bavako a couple of times recently.
Yes, do you like it?
Delicious.
See, I love it too.
I was about to say, did you not like
No,
it?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
It was
but everyone
so
on
good.
TikTok was like,
Really?
yeah. And then my other favourite's Onzo.
I still haven't been to Onslow.
But I sent 2 friends there and they both come back and said they hated it.
No.
Yeah, some was 2 people and they've both been like, one was like, I'm sorry, that was actually super average. I was like, oh well, I feel terrible for sending you there. But they loved Paris butter. He reckoned that was.
I went there and did a
insane.
degustation a few years ago, but they're not really like around. Andiamo's really good. I really love the vibes at Andiamo.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
These are quite like obviously slightly more expensive. We had an amazing meal at Origin in Commercial Bay.
Oh, I haven't heard of
The
that.
potato puree. It's opened by Ben Bailey.
Yeah.
And it used to be Saxon and Parole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think they went under or something. But this potato puree would have easily been 50% potato, 50% butter.
Perfect.
Holy, I can't even explain how delicious it is.
Amazing.
Everything's so expensive. Let's just put it out there. It's
Okay.
it's not somewhere you're going. You might just go for a plate of potato.
Yep.
It would be worth it. And it was beautiful, beautiful. But there are so many places, but I don't know. There's not lots I go back to. Like I'm one of those people where it needs to be super memorable
Yeah.
for me to keep, and I need to do my little happy food dance. You know, like I went to the French cafe for a Christmas party a few years ago. Totally forgettable.
Yeah,
Right.
agreed.
And it's supposed to be the top restaurant in Auckland.
Interesting.
I don't know if it is anymore though.
Yeah, I don't know.
And this was
I
before
think,
Sid Sarah
Mr.
Watt
Morris,
took it over.
I think Mr. Morris is now.
Is now the top
Yeah,
one.
and I didn't rate that.
It's so
So
interesting.
maybe
isn't
I
it?
just have no
Because-
idea.
And that's why I don't know what to trust on the internet.
I think, well, there's the internet and then there's like food reviewers, but I think like with Amosfield and all the other places like that, you have to, they're judging on the whole experience.
Atmosphere.
Whereas me, I'm judging on the bite of food that goes into my mouth.
Absolutely.
And that's why I'm just as happy at a train station or at having a $10 plate of dumplings.
I was
on
going to
Dominion
say
Road.
Eden noodles
Because
or
those tastes are just sensational.
Exactly.
So I mean, good service is great, but I don't
you don't need to spend a
don't
shit ton
need
of
all the
money.
other things.
No.
I don't need a $100 plate. I don't need
And Barilla
like, the
dumplings,
best wine
like-
list in the world.
Exactly. You know, you
So
can have
good,
an
eh?
amazing dinner for 25 bucks, not even.
So I can appreciate all around. But sometimes, like Mr. Morris, there was two of the canapes. I was like, this doesn't even taste nice.
I've got so
Doesn't
would you
feel
rather
nice in my mouth,
would you
doesn't-
be more likely to go back somewhere if the service was bad or the food was bad? So say the food was banging but the service was bad, or the service was incredible and the food was average.
Oh well, I would never go back if the food was bad. But if the service is bad, it's a massive put off as well.
Exactly, because the food could be amazing, but if the
But in
service is
saying that,
bad,
depends what you're paying for, because you get terrible service at Dominion Road dumplings. You know you're going to
signing up
you
for
know
it,
you're going to
eh?
get shouted at.
absolutely.
See, but you got so we'd always go back there because you know that's what you're in for. But you're not paying hundreds of dollars
For, like, a
either. You're
five-star
paying
experience.
literally the cheapest.
Like, they've
Absolutely.
Totally put their prices up recently.
Have
though.
they?
Yeah, actually, I was just thinking it's probably double that now. But when we used to go,
be cheap.
we used to have this cheap eats club in Auckland, and we go around. They used to do the top cheap eats in Auckland. There was a list of 100
Yeah.
places across the city that you could get a real good meal for under $20. And God, I don't know if you'd be able to do it now.
We used to get a plate of dumplings at Barilla for like $12.
It was
and there was
$12,
about
yeah.
15 dumplings
Yeah.
on the plate. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, so
Pretty sure it's
more now.
maybe not twice that much, but it's definitely more expensive. I was
$18,
surprised.
I think.
Inflation tings.
Fair though.
Well,
It's
they just
still-
got too busy.
Yeah.
Like, too many people go there, and what happens
there's
when
like
you're too busy?
four-
Just put your prices up.
4
There is,
Barilla
I
locations
know.
now. There's
Is
one in
there?
Milford,
Oh.
two
There's
on
two
Dominion
on Dominion
Road,
Road.
and there's
Yeah.
another one somewhere as well. So they're smashing it.
They are smashing it. It's always it's just it's the best dumplings I've ever had, by far.
Even
for
if
sure.
they're like made on a milk crate in the garden.
Outside, yeah. You don't care. You
I
know you don't
think
care
I
about
don't think
that.
it's like that
Nah,
anymore.
And
But
I don't
take
care about the
what you're
service
getting.
there. But if you go to, I don't know, like I went to a place locally at Bayfair and had horrifically bad service, and I probably will never go back there now.
Because it's so off-putting.
Well, yeah, and it's not that they were busy; they were dead. It was those little things that you like get real like gnarly about.
I remember
Like,
going to Good
what do I
Brothers
think?
when it first opened, and we had gnocchi, and it was the worst gnocchi I think I've ever had in my entire life. And my friend said, like, called the person over because I am a little bitch, and
non-confrontational.
yeah, non-confrontational in the slightest. And she was like, "Hey, this gnocchi is so chewy and so dry." And he's like, "Okay, just let me go talk to the chef." And so he goes off, comes back. The chef says, "This is what gnocchi's meant to be like." And then she's like, "Well, my friend's a chef, and she, like, and just own it." I think,
Yeah.
like, what's one plate of gnocchi to you guys? To just be
Yes.
like, come back, rather than doing damage control when we're
Yeah.
shitty at how bad the service was and our meal.
Yep.
And that's what I feel like too. No matter how much money you're spending for food, it should be a good meal. Whether it's $15 or $150, like people's money is people's money.
It's a real thing in chef culture because chefs are so arrogant
So arrogant.
that it's so deeply ingrained to be like, tell them to, like it's just the
yeah.
way they are. But I think on a rare occasion, that's what separates the great restaurants from
Absolutely.
most is that they don't have that arrogance and that anger
They
and
just
that
take it on
carry
board.
on. You just like,
Absolutely.
hey, yeah, here we go, I'll make you a new one. Or if they
Yeah.
don't like that, perhaps you could try something else.
Like everything on
yeah,
Gordon
that's-
Ramsay's old like the Hell's Kitchen or whatever, where they go and try and fix all the kitchens.
I kind of want to do that as a job.
Oh, but like
If anyone wants me to come to their restaurant, hit me
every
up.
restaurant that they go to, like every single person there is like, no, my food's the
Stubborn.
best.
It's like the
Stubborn.
family
Yeah, they
business
are.
from
Yep.
50 years ago.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. No, my food's the best. I've had the best pizza in town. It's like, well then, why is your restaurant empty and
Yeah.
why are you bleeding
Yeah.
money?
It must
Absolutely.
be something that just gets ingrained in chefs, eh? Like, because I used to be like that too.
Yeah.
It's
It's
taken me
pride.
a long
It's
time
pride.
to like break that down and now be like, God, like it's such a powerful thing to be able to admit and
you're
openly
wrong?
admit when you're wrong.
That's a life
There
lesson
is
and a
like
half.
that is a life lesson and a half, eh? When you
Always
realise the
admit when you're
power
wrong.
of not denying or trying to change blame, and now it's probably the quality I respect most in other people.
Absolutely.
Is when they're
Ownership.
like, oh, I've actually stuffed that up massively. Here's what I can do to fix it."
Self-reflection,
Rather,
everything.
if someone's like, oh, that wasn't me, you're like,
Ownership,
no respect at all. That's one
Yeah.
of our company.
yeah, ownership and
Like,
It's
if
one
you
of our
make a
top
mistake-
4. What are they called? Not morals.
Like core values.
Core values of our business, because that's such a big thing. There's a lot more power in that.
And
yeah.
humans make mistakes, and that's something you have to learn. Is like, I'm gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's how you handle them, and as a boss. Because like I see people as human, right? Things happen. Obviously, if it's like disastrous, you need to figure out a plan of action and how to fix it. But in business, shit's gonna happen. You
Is
just
it-
it's just how you handle it.
Is it like the whole like food culture, because when you start like your, I don't know, washing dishes or doing like the prep stuff and you get like hammered if you do something wrong, and so the whole way through you're like trying to not do something wrong.
It's the
And when s-
anxiety of making a mistake.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Whereas,
probably.
Whereas if
In a
somebody
safe
makes
space.
something wrong, well, call it a safe space, call it whatever. If you've got a supportive boss that kind of takes it a little bit differently and doesn't like rip your head off and not, I don't know, deep frying the chips properly or whatever it is that you're on, like, is it just this chef or kitchen culture?
I don't know. It's
lot's
certainly a
probably
learned.
changed.
Certainly a learned behaviour of like when I was 16 working in a kitchen. That's what you listen to those chefs in their 40s like mouthing off,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
that like put it back,
Yeah.
Customer can.
Yeah.
This and like you don't know what you're doing. Oh, he's ordered a medium well steak. He's a piece of,
Yeah.
he doesn't know what good food is.
All the
Yeah.
assumptions,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you just have this such negative.
Ingrained.
I experienced
energy
it in a
ingrained.
cafe, a local cafe by me the other day, and I ended up
Yeah.
messaging them because I was like, I can see he was stressed.
Yeah.
But your whole cafe can hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
Changing the atmosphere. I don't really want to come back if that's how your staff are being
Yeah.
treated, because
Yeah.
that's not respectful
Yeah.
to anyone.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
Yeah.
But those are always the chefs that are just assholes and don't
They're
grow.
never,
they're
never the
capped.
best chefs, you know.
Exactly.
Like I think Hello Beastie's a prime example of that open kitchen that runs flawlessly without a bloody word being spoken. But you know the guy there on the plating up the entrees and like doing the desserts. He's the owner. And, like he's in there
Working his
just
butt off.
working his butt off and then just watch it. But he doesn't have to say anything, you know. He's
'Cause
like
they've got that communication and standards.
silence commands respect far more than
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
mouthing off does and the shouting does.
Because everyone's getting defensive and
Yeah,
I can't deal with confrontation, so it's
pretty-
good working for yourself because you don't have to deal with it. That's my life lesson. Avoid it. No.
What's your star sign?
Gemini.
Oh, really?
I don't know enough about star signs, so I
Right.
don't think I'm very Gemini-y.
So we're Aquarius, and our instinct is to like avoid confrontation at all costs.
That's
and, like,
interesting.
It sits quite true
Oh yeah.
with, yeah, like Gemini's not so much.
You're supposed to be like two-faced and stuff, but
Yeah.
I see it as I'm not two-faced. I see it as a split that I have an introverted side and an extroverted side. I think that's how I would see my two presentations. Is like I feel like I sit in the middle of the board.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I think that is something I've learned in my experience with business and even in life. If there's hard conversations to have, it's better to have them now than cause yourself anxiety, whether you're the one in the
absolutely.
wrong or not, for
Yeah.
another 2 weeks, because it's only stressing you out. You kind of have to just be like,
know.
this is going to be a hard discussion no matter when I have it, so why not just get it over and done with so I can breathe rather than letting it eat me up for...
Yeah, well, we know that
months.
though, but acting on it isn't as easy.
It's
as,
hard.
doing that.
And you can't really get away with like having a shot of tequila every time you have to have a hard conversation.
Uh,
That's one place that's a good time. Ghost donkey.
Ghost Donkey.
I got
oh, yeah.
absolutely plastered, and it was too easy. And their tequila is so good, and they've
I
got
need to go
snacks
there.
and the music.
Yeah,
It's not somewhere I would go to eat, like just to eat and have a meal. But if you want somewhere fun to go in town before you go out, or you want a bit of a vibe, Ghost Donkey's amazing.
Never go to Auckland anymore. I don't know why. I used to go there all the time. Now I'm like never there.
It's because you're Pat Mayer.
East,
I'm Pap East, Mayor of Pap East. Yeah, I never leave.
Sorry, Pap East exclusively.
Yeah.
We're taking over Pap.
Yeah, that's my domain.
We've got borderlines.
My what do you call it when you vote? That's my
You're
electoral.
electorate.
Oh, that's my
You're
electorate.
electorate. You're electrolyte.
Right. Have we got anything else? Oh, I just wanted to briefly talk about the peaches marketing.
As if you're on the outside, this was highly entertaining.
Do we have to?
No, we don't have. No, I just. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. I'm gonna have to really think about what I say here. So they sent out the peach iced tea, the tins of peaches,
Peach
and like little
lollies.
mysterious quotes, and it came from no one. And it was all this mystery, and everyone's sharing it. And then there's a few people who like thought they were being threatened, and someone called the police.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking.
Well, they weren't like, they were suggestive, but they weren't directed, right?
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, is that not? This is why people hate influencers.
Well, I know you won't
Because
put it in, but can I know who?
You have put your name on an influencer marketing list.
Absolutely.
Because you want to be an influencer. People send you stuff. Oh my God, I'm getting a death threat. I need to call the police. Like, you are literally the problem with the world today. Sorry.
No kidding.
I actually couldn't deal. And I was like, oh my gosh.
That's kind of surprising, though.
Do you agree or
That's
disagree?
quite shocking. There's no way that the thought that was threatening, as someone who saw what people were getting sent, I didn't get sent it.
But if you say, all you have to do is open your phone and like 20 or 30 other people are getting
Absolutely.
sent it, so you're probably not getting a death threat targeted at you.
But it's not like I'm going to stab you in your peach. It's
Yeah,
like...
yeah. You're a peach
Well,
man,
that's
look
kind
out.
of, I guess, what the end result was. But
I mean, but like with marketing nowadays, you have to push boundaries, right? Otherwise, no one...
You have to. It's all
you
about
need
attention.
to push boundaries to catch people's attention.
I have to say, as someone who, and you as well, receiving packages and things, there has to be some sort of point of difference. And I don't mean that from an ungrateful perspective at all, but it's, PR is sent out because we are also offering that business a service. It's a job,
You're almost like a freight forwarder. You're like arbitraging
Absolutely.
attention.
And I've had experiences where brands will just send a singular, let's just say, round of cheese in a satchel. No information. I'm like, who sent this cheese? Me posting it on my story.
What's different?
No one's going to be interested. And I think in our, what's the word? Like market or area of expertise, food, whatever, right? It's not quick. If you want me to make a recipe with something, you're talking, and this is what I think people don't appreciate online, is you've got probably half an hour of planning, execution, shopping, editing, filming, all these things.
Heaps.
So if you're not putting effort into this product to make me excited to post about it, it's kind of a failed marketing ploy. So I think with like the GGO stuff, it was quite cool because you're like, is this meant to be low budget? Who's sending this stuff? Why is it just in a black bag? Like it creates that conversation. And probably quite financially smart for them as well.
It is.
So you have to be clever to make sure you're standing out.
It gets people wondering, it gets people's attentions. It's sort of, I thought it was great. But obviously a lot of people didn't.
I think the execution might have been a bit slow. If it was, and this is being like overly critical, if that package showed up on a Monday and the next package showed up on a Tuesday, I think
So
you
bam.
would have held that attention a lot more, and I think the hype wouldn't have been sitting there because you had this sort of like peak of attention. People were wondering for
Almost
a day.
to a day even would have been good.
And then all of a sudden everyone kind of forgot about it.
And then a week
later it was just like, that's right, the peaches from a week ago, that's what that made sense. But if it was like a day
bang,
then
day
boom,
1,
the next
2,
day,
3,
or
Constantly, because then you're
if
staying
it
on
was like
someone's stories
a
constantly.
tin of peaches, and then the next day it was peach lollies, and then the next day was the final product. Then it's kind of boom.
I understand that. I 100% agree with you, but that's the difference between a massive company with a $10 million marketing budget
Absolutely.
and a small business
Totally.
with one person
Trying to make it work.
being like, what can we do to get some excitement about this new product?
Yeah.
And we do exactly the same thing here
yeah.
at Pepper and Me, because we could do marketing campaigns that are 20 times better. But at the end of the day, it's me
Yep.
hassling Luke to
Make some graphics, do some
thing,
stuff.
or like us sitting around a table like last minute ideas and we punch it out. We don't have
What
these
TikTok can we
big
do?
campaigns. Like my friend is the marketing manager for one of the biggest companies in New Zealand, and so she's got
Thanks.
She's not even a name drop.
she's got like
I can't even mention them.
20 graphic designers working underneath.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's just the scale that they plan these campaigns on
Yeah.
is mind-boggling
And
to
I
me.
have to say, it's usually the biggest companies that are tightest with their money, especially as a service provider or like an influencer or whatever. I have
interesting.
less flexibility with rates and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
They
You'll
drill
get
you
some that
down.
are fine. I've
Yeah.
worked with another supermarket that was pretty good. But some, we're talking like an extra $100.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, out of budget.
Stretches the
And I'm like,
budget.
because I know you're hustling all these micro influencers for free.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have money. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're spending probably $50,000 on this whole ad campaign that you've got on at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, no, I can imagine it's a lot more than $50,000, you know? Like, it's so interesting.
The other thing I notice is that all they do is have meetings all day. Like,
Corporates.
Yeah.
there's just a lot of talking about
Delegation.
talking. And I'm like, oh gosh, we don't have time for that. We actually just have work to do.
Trying to
When
do
I-
something.
We actually all
Absolutely.
play a role. Yeah, irrelevant, really. But
Which is so funny though, because the space or the person that we always feel that we need to hire is someone that can organize stuff, and for that person, all they would be doing is meeting with people and organizing
and
stuff.
organising stuff.
Can I say though, I feel like when I like have a meeting, it makes me feel real businesswoman.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, going off to a meeting.
Yeah,
But then
it's
when
nice
really
to-
we're just sitting there
Diary.
and talking shit and having a coffee, and I probably could have got the work done twice as quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably could have fired a few emails and had the same
Yeah.
or a phone
Result.
conversation. But no, I mean I don't mind a meeting.
Different
one or two a week.
strategies, I
con.
guess, and stuff.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yep.
It's just a different level, and I think influencer marketing used to be for small businesses because we were the
Absolutely.
ones who owned the Instagram market, and that was how we sold our goods. And now it's for the last 2 or 3 years, it's been big companies have come and swept everyone off their feet, and now influencers are able to charge $6,000 a post or $6,000 for a reel.
I wish it was almost more talked about too, standards of charging as well. You know, like, because I think there's people who are overcharging, undercharging, that there's no conversation too. So it's sometimes probably equally unfair for the business and the influencer if there's all these different standards,
Yeah.
but then you're also getting different products and stuff from them. So it's a hard it's not a simple conversation.
guess
We're in
you-
such a weird area as well because we as Pepper and Me almost want to pay people, so we don't want people charging us more, like if we were to be doing that. And then we also want to be charging more because if Cherie wants to be doing stuff, she wants to charge as much as possible.
Well, that's
Absolutely. You want to make the most of your time.
Like,
People want. They're like, oh, well, like, send you to meet you, do some reels with it, and it works, and because I'm doing them anyway. But then they like, oh, but I want 3 written recipes, and I want that, and I want that. I'm like, that's literally an
few
entire
$1,000s worth of work.
more so than what
Yeah.
people are quoting us to do a reel. So I've had 2 quotes from one food blogger influencer and one non-food who does a bit of cooking, and they're both sitting at $6,000 for a reel, and $6,000 for a post.
Can I ask how many followers they have? roughly? Can
We
give
are
a
looking
window?
at 220k for one, and the other one had around 80k followers.
Holy
Yeah.
she-moly.
Neither of the content was edited on a proper camera, nor was it, like it
not that
was
that really
chill.
matters, but yeah, it
No,
was just
No, it's quality
I
of
think
product.
Rhiannon makes
way better.
TV quality
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
videos,
yeah, yeah.
so it is
How?
relevant. Yeah. You
Thanks.
Well, you're not
No,
bloody
but it
zooming
is.
in on your pan with your phone
I
and then
pride
pasting them
myself
together in
on-
the TikTok app.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing I think, like, I try to set myself apart is, so I didn't have, I think up until November last year on Instagram, I only had like 9,000 followers. Like I kind of cruised because at first I wasn't putting myself out there as much, but now obviously you have to. Like
Yeah.
you can't deny that putting yourself out there helps. But I had 2 reels go viral and I got like another 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
So that has helped me in both a negative and a positive because frustratingly, I'm still producing a great product. Why do people not value it then purely because of the numbers? But I value what I pitch myself out on is like you're getting high quality photos, video and everything that you can repurpose any which way, how, you know, that we've discussed. You're not just getting a one-time, what's the opposite of evergreen? you know, like
Yeah.
a piece of content that's going to expire because it's got a person and their kid in it, or you know, like maybe I'm not wording that the best way, but I think there's a lot of value in you're picking influencers for different things. Let's just say
Pros and cons for lots of different ways.
exactly.
To do
Some people
content.
are utilizing their audience. Some people you do want to be able to use the content elsewhere. Things like that, and everyone's needs
I
are so
wouldn't
different.
see you as an influencer. I would see you as a content creator.
I know, but I feel like it's hard because I don't love the term influencer either. But content creator to me now sounds too generalized.
Yeah, it does actually.
And
yeah.
not to think in any way that I'm better than that, but it's trying to how do I differ my product and kind of put that point out that I do actually produce a higher quality product than your.
You're almost like a white labeled content creator because content
I was like,
creator.
I am very pale.
But you know what I mean, because in the industry, if if it's something white label, you've taken yourself out of it as much as possible, so someone else can rebrand it as theirs. So you do a reel and you slap a Pepper on Me logo on it or whatever it is.
Yeah, and
like
that's
all of
the
a sudden,
difference with products,
it's
exactly.
done. Whereas if someone else is, as you say, it's not timeless. It's got things in it that associate it back to that person, and that could be a pro or a con.
Absolutely.
And as you say, you hire different people for different things and different products and markets and all that.
And like my skill personally, I can produce videos. Like lots of people at the moment want user generated content, right? Like that is the key thing. So it's looking like you've made it in your kitchen and all these things. But if a brand wants a higher quality product, so I can edit all that stuff myself. But if someone wants me to shoot something on my phone, I pay someone to edit that because it's also looking at like what goal are you trying to achieve and what's your time best spent, because that's a learning curve too. Is going like it's not worth me spending 8 hours learning how to use this video platform to edit when I can pay someone $30 an hour for an hour, and then it's
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
that was a bit of a segue. That's my brain though.
No, that's probably a good topic to cover today because we haven't talked much about it. So what? I mean, where do you see?
Talking about influencing, if you're dining at home these days, how about you roast in style in a new Kitco roaster dish?
Phone for size.
Hashtag ad. Gorgeous colours and new roasting dish has been launched. Check it out at kitco.co.nz, and there is a special discount code for podcast followers for the whole month of September. Podcast 10, thanks to Kitco.
Cool.
Doing that. Kitco.nz.
Awesome.
They are beautiful.
They're very beautiful.
I'm into the purple.
Yes.
Very much into the purple, and it's a good size.
Huge. I reckon you could do a blooming potato bake in here and it would stay hot for like 3 hours.
I was like, I think you're like, yeah, it's massive. You could do a potato bake. I was like, we can aim higher than that. You could do a whole chicken easily.
Yeah, you could do a wicked roasty in there, eh?
Have your like veggies, your trivet veggies around it.
Roast cook-off.
Little moussaka.
Yeah.
I like the depth.
All right, well, we better go. I've got to go. And I've got to go to Italy, so see you on the flip
Sorry, I've
side.
got to go get on the plane.
Yep.
Stop it.
So thanks for joining us this season
you.
with Around the Dinner Table.
Season.
And this is our last
Is this the last
episode.
one?
Yep, the last one ever.
I was like, oh my God, I feel even more special now.
This is episode 25. 25 episodes in a season. That's pretty decent.
Yep.
I could just pretend I'm 25 and it's a coincidence.
Yep. It's been a good season. Yeah, we're going to have a little break, maybe return in a month or so. Yeah.
Cool.
Anything to say? Anything special to say?
In your pantry, do you put your cups face up or down?
I do up.
I thought you were directing that at me, like Inrhispantry. I was like, wow, that's direct.
Oh, in your cupboard, whatever, up or down?
Up.
Yeah, up. Do down.
But if they were out of the cupboard and on a shelf upside down, because I hate cleaning the dust out of the wine glasses.
I do mugs weirdly upside down and cups up. And I noticed this morning as I was putting the dishes away, and I was like,
Is it something you can't stop now that you've started as well?
well, now I'm going to overthink it.
You are.
Totally. Anyway, thanks for listening to the podcast, and we'll catch you guys in season 2.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pepper and Me podcast, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the products that we're talking about, you'll find us at pepperandme.co.nz.